It sounds like there's been a cover-up, but what were they trying to cover up?
Well, again, this is why we're fighting for the truth. None of this would have come out if the Oversight Committee, if Darrell Issa, if our committee didn't continue to pursue this, we would have been told, the rest of the world, by the Obama administration, go on, there's nothing wrong here. It was just a video gone awry. So I don't know what else we're going to continue.
Was this a re-election? Was this a re-election of the president?
Well, I think it was political rather than security. But what boggles my mind is 4.5 months after the fact, Secretary Clinton still had the gall to come here and perpetuate things that we know as common knowledge are simply not true.
But Congressman, it's an interesting question because it does involve so many high-level people. You had the former Secretary of Defense, Leon Panetta, who was revered by both sides of the fence, coming out and saying, hey, we couldn't have gotten anybody there. So you have him online. You have former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Susan Rice, President Obama, Admiral Mullen. I mean, would all of these people go to bat just to get President Obama reelected?
What about David Petraeus?
David Petraeus, former director of the CIA.
Well, again, I think the intelligence community is the best I can tell, has probably done a better job throughout this than the rest of the others.
But they allowed their report to be scrubbed.
Well, again, this is what we're going to ask the chief of mission, the number two one. We're going to ask the number two person, the person who, when the ambassador wasn't there, he was the head, he was the person that was on the phone. Let's ask him. He's a wonderful, patriotic person. When I went to Libya the first week of October, I met with him. I felt that he was being suppressed in his ability to share information with me then. But now he's taken a very difficult personal step, and he'll share it in his own words, not some Republican, from Utah. We're going to hear from the guy who was actually there.
Okay, so we're going to hear from 3 career officials from the Department of State. What about the contractors, the special operators? I think there were 7 there that night. 2 were killed, were murdered. What about the other 5?
Well, there are a lot of people on the ground that we would like to talk to, and as I've talked to several times over the last several months, these whistleblowers have had a very difficult time. They're afraid of what would happen to them at the Department of State. We think we're working part of that out, but I'm telling you, you can talk to the attorneys. They will tell you they are very difficult time getting the security clearances they need from state in order to talk to their clients.
Congressman, I watched you with Chris Wallace yesterday. Congressman Lynch, who seems to be a very sensible Massachusetts congressman, said, why didn't you let some Democrats into this process? Why didn't you?
We totally did. We're in the same boat. First of all, I went over to Libya. No Democrat decided or elected to go with me. State Department sent a minder to go with me. We have been asking for documents from the State Department. We've been given 8 tranches that we can only review in camera. That is, we have to go into a room where the State Department can watch and take notes on what I can look at. Even non-classified documents. That is so wrong. I can tell you in those months, not a single Democrat has ever come down to join us. Some of their staff did, but not a single member did. But that's always been there.
I bet that could change, though, now, because it seemed in that interview yesterday like more Democrats may be coming on board now to say, oops, what actually happened here?